Hello, and welcome to Power Yoga with Joanna. We're going to start at the top of our mats today in mountain pose. So, rooting your feet into the mat, lifting up those toes, spreading them wide, and then pressing them one by one, starting with your baby toe, all the way over to your big toe, and pressing them into the mat. Good. Feeling that energy rising up through the earth, moving up your shins, through your calves, flexing those calf muscles, lifting those kneecaps, feeling that energy moving up the legs into the thighs, into the glutes, squeezing those glutes, tucking the pelvis in, feeling that energy move into your abdominal muscles, flexing those abdominals. Take a deep breath in, shoulders come up, back, pushing your shoulders down, spreading your fingers wide, feeling the energy coming out of each finger, moving back into the earth, creating space between your chin and your chest. Top of the head reaches towards the sky. Every muscle in your body is now flexed. You're in mountain pose. You are as strong as a mountain. Nothing can knock you over, not the wind. You're standing strong, feeling that energy move from the earth through your body to the top of the sky. Now, closing your eyes, setting an intention for your class. So what brought you to the class today? How do you want to feel when the class is over? What are the reasons for you being here today on your mat? This could be health, this could be presence, this could be energy, whatever it is. Closing your eyes, think of that intention, and taking a deep breath in, reach up, grab that intention out of the sky, palms come together, placing them on your forehead, locking that intention into your mind's eye. Take a deep breath in, reach up, grabbing that intention one more time, palms come together, bringing those thumbs to the heart center, placing that intention into your heart, bringing that intention into each pose we practice today. From here, take a deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, pushing back, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in and sighing it out. Letting everything go. Take another deep breath in. Sighing it out. Let everything go that you brought to class that no longer serves you, that you don't need in this class here and now. Connecting with your mat, connecting with the earth, being present here in this moment, giving yourself this time for yourself, for your health, for your thoughts, and slowly just walking the dog, lifting one foot and then the other, working those heels a little bit closer to the mat. If your heels don't touch today, that's perfectly fine. Wherever you are today is perfect for you. On your next inhale, coming high on the toes, and exhale, pushing those heels closer to the mat. Inhale, coming high on the toes. Exhale, pushing down. On your next inhale, slightly bending the knees, step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, coming all the way back up, hinging at the waist, head comes up last, reaching up tall, palms come together, hands come to heart center. Good. One more time, a little faster. Sun salutation A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push back, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Sigh it out. Letting it all go, letting all those worries just roll off your back, off your mat. Anything that no longer serves you. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out with volume this time. One more time, inhale. Step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Palms come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Standing in that mountain pose. One more time. On your next inhale, coming back into chair pose. Hands come up, pushing that bum back. You should be able to see your toes over your knees. And sitting back as if somebody's pushing a chair underneath your bum. Holding here. Hands are up, or you can bring them to heart center. Wherever you are today is perfectly fine. Taking a deep breath in, arms come up. Maybe sinking a little bit lower, holding here. Hands come to your heart center. Straighten those legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big smile here. Push it back, downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. On your next inhale, right foot comes high, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing it forward, stepping into warrior one. Good. Arms come up, sinking into that front leg. Making sure that your flashlights on your toes, on your knee, on your hips are all shining forward. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Opening up to warrior two. Again, flashlights on those fingertips, on the knee, on the toes, all shining right in front of you. Good. Flipping that front palm, dancing it back. Peaceful warrior. Good. If that hand comes to the joint, to your knee, you can always bring that hand up your back so you're not putting pressure on that joint. Good. Warrior two. Exhale, bending into that front arm. Elbow comes to your knee, making a diagonal line between that heel and your fingertips. Looking down if your balance is challenged today. But if you'd like to challenge your balance, looking up to that extended arm. Reaching with that arm. Good. Coming back up. Warrior two. Shining those lights. Clasping those hands behind your back. Opening up that chest, looking up to the sky. Hinging at the waist over that front knee. Arms come up. Humble warrior. Good. Dropping those hands, framing the foot, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, big smile. Push back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And sigh it out. One more deep breath. And sigh it out. On your next inhale, left leg comes high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, bring the knee forward, step it through. Coming into warrior one, opposite side. Good. Taking an inhale, reach up with those hands. Exhale, opening up, warrior two. Shining those fingertips, that knee, those toes, all straight ahead, bending into that knee. Good. Flipping that front palm, dancing it back. Peaceful warrior. Again, if that hand comes to your joint, bring it up your back. And really bend into that front knee. Good. Coming up, warrior two. Bending into that front elbow, bring the elbow to knee. Top hand comes up, making that diagonal line between your back heel and your fingertips. Again, looking down at those toes. If your balance is challenged today, but if you want to challenge your balance, looking up to those fingertips. Really bend into that front knee. Arms come down, frame that front foot, low lunge, step it back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big smile here. Push back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Take another deep breath. And sigh it out. Bend those knees, step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, pushing that bum back, looking over those knees, make sure you can see your toes, really sitting in that chair. Lower, a little bit lower. Noticing any feelings that are coming up, how you react to the pose. Do you want to get out when you're challenged? Maybe noticing how you deal with challenging situations in real life. Bring those hands to your heart center, forward fold. Coming back up, root to rise, all the way up. Reach up, palms coming together, hands down to heart center. Mountain pose, good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, big smile. Push back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhaling that right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bending that knee, right knee comes to right elbow. Pushing back, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, right knee comes to left elbow. Push it back, three-legged dog. Bending that knee, bringing that knee to your chest. Give it a kiss if you can. And then stepping that foot forward, coming into crescent lunge. Arms come up. Shining those toes, that knee forward. Sinking a little bit deeper. And bringing those hands to heart center. Lean forward with the top of your head. Opposite elbow, so your left elbow will come to your right knee. Pushing into those palms. Look over that right shoulder. Crescent lunge. Good. Coming back up, crescent lunge. Sinking a little deeper. Bringing those hands down to the mat, framing the foot, low lunge. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Good. Taking a deep breath in and sigh it out. On your next inhale, left leg comes high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bending that knee, left knee to left elbow. Push it back, three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow. Push it back, three-legged dog. Left knee comes to the center, giving it a kiss if you can. Stepping it through, coming into low lunge. Low lunge, coming up into crescent lunge. Arms come high. Bending into that front knee. Bringing those hands down to heart center. Leaning forward, hinging at the waist, twisting. Right elbow comes to left knee. Looking up over that left shoulder, crescent twist. Feeling free to open up those wings if that's where you are today. Otherwise, hands stay at heart center. Pushing into those palms. Good. Coming back to crescent lunge, arms come high. Sinking into that front leg again. Framing that foot with those hands, low lunge. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Big smile. Push it back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Sigh it out. Take another deep breath in. Sigh it out. Coming back in, rolling into a high plank. Bringing your weight into your right hand. Coming into a side plank. Opening up with that left hand. Wherever you are today, always feeling free to drop that knee. Making sure that it's coming out at a 90-degree angle. Opening up here. Good. And then wherever you are, if you're in the high plank, grabbing that top leg between your toes and coming into low lunge. Good. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push it back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Take another deep breath. And rolling, coming up onto the toes into a high plank, bringing the weight into that left hand, opening up into side plank on the opposite side. Again, wherever you are, dropping that knee if you need to. Good. Top leg comes up, grabbing that big toe, swinging it forward, Coming into low lunge. Good, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Push it back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take another deep breath in. Exhale with volume. Step, hop, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, coming all the way up. Palms come together, meet at the top, and bring it down to heart center. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes high, three-legged dog. Bending that knee, stepping forward, coming into warrior one. Opening up, warrior two. Good. Bringing those palms to the center, thumbs coming up to the sky. Pushing back, straightening that front leg. Pushing that front hand forward, but keeping your hips where they are. Dropping into triangle pose. So looking up to that left hand, reaching up tall. Good. And coming down, let both hands meet. Bring that left hand onto the outside of your right foot and just narrow your stance a little bit. Bow and arrow that right arm up. So leave that left arm there, opening up, twisted triangle. Keeping that front knee straight with a micro bend. Coming back down, framing that foot. Walking those hands to the center, so coming lengthways on your mat. Making sure that the toes are slightly turned in, heels are slightly turned out. And slowly starting to lower, hinging at the waist, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Again, wherever you are today, listening to your body. So you can leave your hands here if you like. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can always grab onto your ankles, just helping yourself into that fold. You can also clasp those hands behind your back. And as you lean forward, lift those hands off your back towards the mat, over your head. Again, listening to your body, wherever you are today, it's perfectly fine. Taking a few deep breaths here. Dropping those hands, lower back. Bring your hands down and in front of you, coming up halfway lift. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Pivoting that back foot, walking those hands to frame your front foot, coming into a low lunge. Leaning forward, opening up that chest, looking up to the sky. Good. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push back, downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. On your next inhale, left leg comes high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing it forward, coming into warrior one. Pushing up, sinking into that front knee. Inhale, lift up, opening up, warrior two. Good, looking over that front arm, making sure all your lights are shining straight ahead. Straightening that front leg, palms come to the front, thumbs point to the sky, hinging, and dropping into triangle pose. Looking up to that extended arm, making sure that if I were behind you with a giant book, I could close that book around you, making sure everything is straight, shoulders, hips, everything are in line. Good. Dropping that top hand to meet the bottom. Narrowing your step, toes are facing the same way. Right hand comes to the outside of your left foot. And bow and arrow that arm, twisted triangle, looking up. Good. Back arm comes down, framing that foot, coming into a low lunge, making sure that you can see your toes, bending into that hip, opening up that chest, looking up to the sky, and stepping back, high plank, chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Take another deep breath in. Sigh it out. Now, walking those hands back to meet your feet, keeping a micro bend in those knees. We're gonna lift up those feet, lift up the toes. Fingertips come to heels, toes come to wrists. You're standing on your palms and leaning in, leaning onto those palms, putting weight on your hands. As you start to straighten your legs, push into those hands and start to feel that stretch in your upper back. Good. Wherever you are today, if you want to keep your knees a little bit more bent, that's perfectly fine. Maybe just closing your eyes and noticing where you feel this stretch. Playing around with it, playing around with digging those feet into the hands, straightening those legs, really opening up that upper back. Letting the head hang. Make sure you can nod your head yes, shake your head no. There should be no tension in your head, your neck, your shoulders. Good. And now lifting up those feet, releasing the hands. We're gonna walk those hands forward just a little bit, coming into crow pose. So balancing your knees on your triceps. Maybe just playing around here for today. Maybe lifting one foot and then the other. And if that's where you are today, just stay right there, playing around. The goal of crow pose is to lift both feet up off the mat while balancing your knees on your triceps, putting the weight into your hands. Good. And just playing around here. And staying as long as you can. If you come out, come back in again. Good. It's something to work towards every class. This was my favorite when I first started doing yoga, was I couldn't do the crow pose at all, and I would practice and practice until one day, somehow, I just did it. Good. And coming into a headstand. So we're going to come into a tabletop position, and we'll start off in a rabbit pose. So top of the head comes to the mat while your bum stays up. Tucking those toes under, you can reach back for your heels. This is rabbit pose, and maybe this is where you are today. This is still an inversion, so blood is still running to your head, that oxygenated blood through all of our deep breaths. If you'd like to try a headstand, we're going to come into a tripod. So bringing those hands underneath, so creating a triangle with your hand, head, and other hand, and then pushing up on your toes. There, coming into like a reverse plow. Good. Then maybe walking those toes forward a little bit closer and then coming almost into an upside down crow. So lifting one foot and then the other. And again, if this is where you are today, just stay right here. You can come up into a tripod, lifting both feet up off of the mat. Again, staying here if this is where you're comfortable today, listening to your body. And if it's in your practice, coming up into a headstand, flexing those feet into like a reverse mountain pose. So all of your muscles are completely tensed. And then slowly coming out, making sure you come right into a child's pose. So keeping that head down, head below heart. You don't want any head rushes here. Don't want anybody passing out. And then just staying in child's pose here, catching our breath. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And just celebrating wherever you are today, wherever you are in your practice is exactly where you're supposed to be. And just honoring your body, honoring everything that your body can do for you,
all of the challenges that you faced, looking how far you've come. You're here, you're in this yoga class. That is the hardest part, is just grabbing that mat, jumping in the car, and showing up to the yoga class. Taking deep breaths here, really oxygenating that blood. Good. Coming into tabletop position. And stepping back, coming into a high plank. Pushing back, downward facing dog. So keeping that head below that heart. Still in an inversion. We're not coming up too quickly. Good. Step, hop, or jump to the front of your mat, keeping that head down, forward fold. Good. Maybe grabbing those elbows, dropping that head, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no. Good. Hands coming to your shins, halfway lift. Taking a few breaths here. Letting everything settle. On your next exhale, forward fold. And inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly rolling up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping that chin tucked, head comes up very last. Good. Bring those shoulders up, back, and down, coming back into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Feeling strong, congratulating yourself for everything you've just accomplished. Maybe grabbing a drink of water here if it's in your practice. We're going to be working on our balancing poses next. So staying at the top of your mat, we're going to bring our weight into our right leg. So your left leg is going to come up, knee comes in front of you. Grabbing onto that left knee with the left hand, right hand comes out. On your next inhale, opening up that hip, opening up that left leg, looking at something not moving, so setting your drishti or your gaze at something that isn't moving is going to help with your balance here. Good. Focusing on your breath, giving your mind something to focus on, looking at something that isn't moving. Inhale for 3, and exhale for 3. Bringing that left knee back to the front, keeping that foot flexed. We're going to push that foot out behind us. Coming into our Superman. Again, setting your drishti at the floor, something that isn't moving. Rooting that foot, right foot down into the mat. Your hands can stay back behind you. You can bring them into prayer pose. You can bring them out in front of you. Whoops, wherever you are today. Just honor that. And slowly coming back up. Good. Bringing that left foot out in front. Maybe trying to straighten it. Hands can be on your hips. Good. And dropping that foot to meet your other foot on the mat. Shaking it out. Noticing a difference between the two sides here. You've only done the one side. Coming back into mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Shoulders come up. Back, spreading those fingers, tucking that pelvis, squeezing that bum, creating space between your chest and your chin, bringing the weight into your left foot, bringing that right knee up, grabbing a hold of your right knee with your right hand, left hand comes out either straight or cactus that arm. On your next inhale, opening up that right hip, coming to the side, setting your drishti, your gaze, something in front of you that isn't moving. And coming back to your breath here, inhaling, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Good. Bringing that knee back to center, flexing that foot, pushing the bottom of your foot to the back wall, coming into your Superman. This is Warrior 3. Again, leaving those hands behind you, trying to shine the lights from your hip bones straight down at the ground. Your hands could stay on your hips. They can be behind you. They can come into prayer pose. Or they can come straight out in front of you, making that T wherever you are today, listening to your body. Good. Slowly coming back up, bringing that knee. Right knee back up, maybe giving it a squeeze. And then extending it out in front of you. And dropping that right foot to meet the left. Good. Shaking out your feet, shaking out your legs, taking out your arms. Good. So another balancing pose. We're going to do our dancer's pose. So bringing that right arm straight up into the sky. Bring your weight into your right foot. Bend your left foot to your bum and grabbing a hold of that ankle. Flexing the foot, making a handle with your foot. And reaching up your fingertips to the sky. And then on your next exhale, you're going to slowly lower, press into that hand, coming into dancer's pose. Again, looking at something that isn't moving, focusing on your breath for balance here. And celebrating. If you fall out, celebrate where you are today. Come right back in, try again. If you're holding it, celebrate. This is your yoga practice. This is nobody else's. Celebrate where you are. It's further than where you've been. Coming back up and dropping that left foot. Good, shaking it out. Noticing the difference between the two sides. Good, left arm comes up. Weight comes into that left foot. Right foot comes to your bum. Grab onto that right foot. Take a deep breath in, reach up to the sky with that left hand and slowly start to lower into dancer's pose, opposite side. Maybe feeling a difference between the two sides. Maybe feeling that one leg, one thigh, one is a little bit tighter than the other. And maybe you want to hold the one side a little bit longer, and that's perfectly normal. Setting your drishti, setting your gaze, focusing on your breath, keeping that back foot flexed. Good. If you come out, come right back in again. And on your next inhale, coming back up, dropping that foot, shaking it out, shaking out both feet, shaking out your arms. Good. Getting that blood flowing again, feeling that rebound. Coming back into mountain pose, digging those feet into the mat, tucking your pelvis. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back, high plank. Chat around that low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, big smile here. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Take another deep breath in. And sigh it out. Rolling into a high plank. So staying here in the high plank. So making sure that your bum isn't sticking up in the air. Make sure that you're flat as a board. Now we're going to start to lower for a count of 10. So drop those knees if you need. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Completely relax. Maybe stacking your hands in front, resting your forehead. Just letting your whole body relax here. Coming back to your breath. Good. From here, placing your forehead on the mat, reaching those hands behind you, clasping your hands behind your back, pointing your toes, squeezing your bum. And on your next inhale, you're going to reach your hands to your feet, lifting up your shoulders, lifting up your toes, coming into locust pose. Being kind to the neck, looking down at your mat. On your next inhale, reach a little bit further, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, slowly lower back down to the mat. You can come onto your cheek. Again, catching your breath here. Good. Now our next pose, you can come back into locust, the pose that we've just done. But if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, bend those knees, reach back and grab your ankles with your hands. Flex those feet, make that handle. And on your next inhale, pushing up into boat pose. So lifting up that chest, lifting up those feet, slight back bend, looking straight ahead, keeping those feet flexed, reaching to the ceiling. On your next inhale, push up a little bit higher. I know you can go higher. Reaching up, opening up that chest, feeling that stretch in the shoulders, in the lower back. Reach one more time, a little bit higher. And exhale, release. Back down, coming onto the other cheek. Letting those shoulders round. Good. Bringing those hands underneath the shoulders. Coming up into tabletop position. And just taking some cats and cows here. So on your inhale, dropping the belly, head and tail come to the sky. And exhale, pushing up all that air. Big exhale, tucking the pelvis, tucking the chin. And just moving here with your own breath. Really working that spine. Really feeling those back bends. And after your next exhale, come back into neutral. And then walk those hands up. And we're coming into a camel pose. So you can tuck your back toes, staying on your knees here. You can bring your hands so that your fingertips are pointing towards your feet. Your wrists are pointing, are on your upper back, your lower back. And then slowly start to push into your pelvis, pushing your pelvis forward, leaning back, opening up that chest. Again, staying here, if this is where you are today in your practice. Looking up to the sky, feeling that slight back bend. If you'd like to take it a step further, you can reach back and grab those heels. Again, pushing those hips forward, opening up through the chest, looking up to the ceiling, really making sure that you're feeling that stretch through your shoulders, pushing in to those hips, shining those flashlights straight ahead. Good. And to come out of camel, we're going to lift one hand at a time to our lower back. Slowly coming up. Good. Coming back into tabletop, knees come wide, toes come together, pushing back, child's pose. Take a deep breath in. And let it all go. Everything you've been holding on to, let it roll off your back. You don't need to worry about that anymore. Coming onto your mat, feeling the mat beneath your hands, beneath your forehead, beneath your feet. Bringing you back into the present moment. You're here and now. Good. So slowly walking your hands back. Coming into a malasana. So bringing your heels facing in towards the center of your mat. Almost into a crouching position. Good. Dropping that bum. And then bringing your elbows on the inside of your knees. Hands are in prayer pose. Straightening out that spine. Coming into malasana, or the birthing position. The more you squeeze into your palms, press into your elbows, the easier this is to balance. If you have a block or a pillow, you can always put that under your bum if you need help balancing. And just coming back to your breath here. Good. Slowly pushing your bum back, coming to the mat, straightening out those legs, give them a little shake. can even take your feet as wide as your mat. Windshield wiper those legs. Just bringing some blood flow back into your legs. Good. And then coming into boat pose. So you can either grab behind your knees. We're going to lean back onto our bums, coming up onto the tiptoes. So staying here, if this is enough of an abdominal workout for you today, you can lift one foot, try it out, then lift the other, maybe balancing here. Again, staying here if this is where you are. If you'd like, you can release your hands from behind your legs. You can also straighten out those legs. So we're gonna lower down our backs to the mat for a count of 10. So coming down slowly, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees into the chest. Making sure you're pressing that lower back into the mat. Then rock back and forth, giving that lower spine a massage. Good. Grabbing onto your right knee, extend that left leg straight out, and then slowly start to pull that right knee over to the left side. Right arm comes out, supine twist. Looking over at that extended right arm. Good. Taking a deep breath in. And on your exhale, wring out that spine. Just like a washcloth. We're wringing out all that no longer serves us. All that toxic goo that gets stuck in our spine, in our organs, wringing that all out. Our inhales lengthen our spine, and our exhales twist just a little bit further. Again, listening to your body and only going as far as your body tells you to. Good. On your next inhale, bringing both knees into the chest, give them a big hug. And exhale, release that right leg. Keeping that left leg into your chest. And supine twist on the opposite side. So bring that left knee over towards the right, looking over at that left hand. Pointing those toes. Inhales, lengthening the spine. Exhale, twisting a little bit further. Making sure you're drinking a lot of water. When the class is over, just flushing all that toxicity, everything that has been stuck for so long, just flushing that all out of your system. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Bringing your knees back to your chest. Good, hugging them in, grabbing the bottoms of your feet, coming into happy baby. Pressing those knees into your armpits. Feet are facing the ceiling. Maybe rocking back and forth here. Maybe extending one leg and then the other. Playing around like a happy baby. And hugging those knees into the chest one last time. Chin comes up, big squeeze. Make yourself into a tight ball. And then exhale, let it all go. Coming into Shavasana, our final pose. Corpse pose. Maybe placing one hand on your lower belly and one hand on your heart. And coming into a 3-part breath. So on your inhale, let that lower belly fill up with air, moving up to your chest. Chest rises last. And on your exhale, chest comes down first, and then release your lower belly. Inhale, lower belly comes up, moving up to your chest. Exhale, chest lowers, lower your lower belly. And just moving with your own breath at your own pace here. Letting your hands come to your side, palms facing up to receive prana or energy, palms face down. You need to feel grounded. And on your inhale, I want you to imagine that there is a light on your forehead. As you inhale, that light becomes brighter and brighter and brighter until you can't inhale anymore. On your exhale, you're going to push that breath through that light, shining that light out into the room through your forehead. So we're going to do that 3 times. Inhale, deep breath in. That light is becoming brighter, brighter, brighter. And exhale, push that light through your forehead, shine that light out into the room. One more time. Inhaling. Light becomes bright, 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 bright. Exhale, shine that light, push it all through your forehead, shining that light into the room. On your next inhale, the light is now on your throat. So as you inhale, the light becomes brighter. On your exhale, shine that light, push that breath through your throat, shining that light into the room. Inhaling, light becomes bright, brighter, 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 brighter. Exhale, push that breath through that throat. One more time at your own pace. Inhaling. And exhale, shine that light through your throat. Good. Moving down to our heart. Inhaling, the light becomes bright on your heart. Opening up, becomes bigger and bigger. Exhaling, pushing that breath through the heart, out into the room. Imagining yourself outside of your body, you can see the light shining from your chest. Inhaling, light becomes bright. Exhale, pushing that light through your heart, shining it into the world. One more time. Inhaling. The light becomes bright. Exhale, pushing that light out into the world. Good. Relaxing all of your muscles. Relaxing your hands, your fingers, your toes, your arms, your shoulders. Coming back to your natural breath now. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Rolling your wrists and rolling your ankles. On your next inhale, reach up above your head, palms come together, point your toes. Give yourself a huge stretch. Fingertips reaching in one direction, toes pointing in the other. And on your exhale, roll into the fetal position, so your head is cradled by your arm. We end each yoga practice with the corpse pose, as it represents the death of the person that we were when we stepped on our mat and began our practice today, and honors the journey that we just went through. We follow the corpse pose by the fetal position, which represents the new birth of the being that you are after the journey you've just been through with your practice. So pushing yourself up, keeping a slight gaze, your eyes closed, coming into a comfortable seated position, sitting up with a tall spine, top of the head reaching to the sky. Taking a deep breath in, reach up, grabbing that intention you set at the beginning of class,
Bring your hands to your forehead or your third eye to only think kind thoughts about yourself and others. Taking a deep breath in, reach up, palms come together, bring your hands to your lips to only speak kind words about yourself and others. Taking a deep breath in, reach up, grab that intention, palms come together and place your hands on your heart, filling your heart with love and light. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. And thank you for practicing with me tonight.